Hi everyone, my name is Lorianne and this is It's All Primary. Today's video we are going to talk about tools for teaching math, primary math, remotely. Stay tuned. Oh, if you are new to this channel, welcome. Here at It's All Primary, we try to give you teaching tips, teaching strategies, a few other teaching related things, and right now we are all things math, and in particular primary math. I've been a primary math teacher, I don't know, maybe 15 years, not even sure. But this is new territory for many of you, teaching math remotely or online. And so we're going to look at some tools that you might consider, or maybe you're already using. If you watched my previous video on what do you use, I will put a link. It'll be at the end. How's that? Then when it comes to primary math, whether you are online or face-to-face, you have to really keep your actual lesson plans short. And when I mean short, we're talking 5 to 7 minutes, depending on the age of your students. And the other thing you need to remember, that one size does not fit all. Find a system that's going to work for you and the majority of your students, and then make your adaptations or modifications to the students that it's not going to work for, because you have to realize that this is not going to work for everyone. Some kids are going to be successful with online learning, some are not going to be successful. But that doesn't mean we ignore those who are not successful. It means we got to try and find another tool. So the first tool I want to say is it's all about communication. Communication with the families that are home with their children that you are going to be teaching. Send out an email and find out from the families how many of them have manipulatives of some sort. Now, they may not have the blocks and the counters and all those things that you have in the classroom, but let's see if they can, pull together some sort of makeshift little math toolkit for their child. Some of the things that you want to have in your students' toolbox, so even if they have something like a pencil box, things that they can count with. If they don't have blocks, which the majority of them I think would have, or Lego bricks, they can use beans, marbles, buttons, something that they can put in their hands, particularly in the pre-K, K1, and even some grade 2s. They need to have those things that they can touch. So again, find out from every single family what they have available at home. Now, you might be able to supply things. That'll be a discussion that you have with your principal or administrator, or maybe even your district will allow or not allow take-home kits from the school. But it doesn't hurt to ask. Now, once you know that everyone's got something, again, they may not have the same thing, then what you want to do is you want to break up your online time, so your screen time, into 2, 3, maybe even 4 little chunks of stuff. So again, previous video, we talked about number talks. Have a fun activity where they're moving. Again, get them to bring their toolkit, that it's in front of them, so they're not scrambling for it when you're in the middle of a lesson. To make sure that they have it in front of them. When they enter the Zoom meeting or Google Classroom or whatever you are using, say, hold up your toolkit. And if your child doesn't hold it up, they got to go get it. Because you don't want those kind of interruptions once your lesson starts. So you're going to do a number talk of some sort. This is where you're exploring numbers. You might also want to have your students have a mini whiteboard, if possible, or even just a large piece of paper on a pad or something like this. It can be scrap paper, just so they can practice writing numbers down when you're doing your number talks. And again, your number talks are only a couple minutes. Our goal is for them to explore math, not be listening and listening and listening about it. So you're going to spend 2, 3, 4 minutes on a number talk. Make it fun, make it a game if possible. And then you're going to give your formal lesson. As mentioned, keep it short. There's nothing wrong with taking a math concept and breaking it into 3 or 4 days. There's nothing wrong with that. It works the same for math, language arts, social studies. It works for all of them. You don't have to teach it all in one sitting. If you are doing something like number concepts and you are doing one more, one less. You don't have to do one more and one less in the same day. Do one more one day, do a review of it, and then do one less, and then have a day you're reviewing both. Keep things in bite-sized chunks. The next tip I have for you is don't reinvent the wheel. There are lots of fun YouTube videos or videos in general already posted somewhere. And if they meet the requirement of what you need, use them. Don't redo one and take the time to make videos that someone has already got done for you. I've noticed since March, there are a lot of mini math lessons for primary students sitting online. Use them. That's what they're there for. They're there to help you. So we don't want you spending all this time creating when you don't have to create. Now, if you do have to make mini lessons of videos, batch them. Don't get yourself all dressed up, looking nice for the sake of one video. Make 2, 3, maybe even 4, because again, they should be no longer than a couple minutes. Then you will know when you left off on the previous video and you can keep going. So spend some time. Maybe make the whole week's lessons in one sitting, if possible. It will save you time. Next tip, make sure you are providing time for the kids to practice playing with manipulatives. If your very first lesson is the first time that they crack open their tools, I wouldn't even do a formal lesson on that day. I would do a day, I would call it an explore day, where the students get to open up their little box of treasures and they start playing with them. And again, just give them that opportunity to play. You could even do a little I Spy. I spy with my little eye something that is red. Who's got something red in their box? Because the thing is, if this is something brand new for them, they're going to get distracted easily. Whereas if they've played with it a little bit, the chances of you having their attention are a little bit better. The one thing I really want to say at the end of all of this is give yourself the grace, because this is new for everybody, including maybe you. And there's no point in panicking. There's no point in worrying. These kids will learn, sometimes regardless of us. They really will. Learning is not just about the teacher. It's a two-way thing. But for some kids, they're self-learners. So it wouldn't matter what you say or not say. These kids are going to learn despite you. So again, give yourself grace. Give your students grace. Stay positive. Stay animated on screen. It keeps the energy up. The last tip I'm going to give, because you don't need 20, 30 tips. Math is not that hard. But the last thing I would say is either try and provide for your students either a fun booklet or activity, something like boom cards or digital slides that they can do as practice. You don't want them too long on the screen, because there are a lot more subjects besides math that they have to learn and work on. So we don't want our students on the screen for half an hour to an hour for just math. That's too long. It really is. It's too long. So try and come up with a math activity, boom cards, digital slides, or if you're able to send home some sort of little take-home packet, and keep the lessons brief. Keep them brief, okay? Many of our students have not, first of all, they had 2 months holidays, so they have not been in front of the screens. We need to build stamina in our students, so start them small and then work up. And working up doesn't mean next week you're suddenly doing 20-minute lessons. No. We're talking about months to get into this, because you would be better off compacting your lesson into something that's, at the most 15 minutes with all these little things. And you'll have their intention for most of it, as opposed to a 30-minute where you might get a very small percentage of kids actually engaged with you. Start short, start easy, and then build. If you found any value from this video, I'd appreciate you clicking the thumb up and subscribe so you don't miss any videos. Next week, we are going to talk about homeschooling math programs. These are math curriculums that are very popular in the homeschool communities, and we're going to look at a few of them. So I hope you're having a great day. Stay safe wherever you are. We'll catch you in the next video. Take care.